5 Questions with LeRoy Butler. Now, here's Tom Silverstein.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to 5 Questions with LeRoy Butler. Everybody's getting a little bonus action. Two weeks of bonus action due to the Green Bay Packers advancing to the divisional round of the NFC playoffs. Just like I called it, right?
No, you did not call it
I did.
You were just like all these other guys that think
and
they know
don't tell
football.
me that you picked the Packers because you always pick the Packers.
No,
so
I picked
let's not even discuss how smart a pick that was.
I picked a team, not an individual.
I will say this.
Right?
I will say this, you're 18-0 because I think you pick the Packers every single week.
Well, if I did, I'd be
You're 18-0 and
feeling
the
great.
Packers. Anyway, we got a lot to talk about, and we really have a lot to show in X's and O's.
Yes.
You really want to tune into that because there were so many interesting plays.
Yeah.
And I want to start with just the way Jordan Love is playing and how you sort of view what is the connection between him and Matt LaFleur right now that they're doing so well on offense? All right.
That's a great question. Here's the thing, and I'm just speculating, I'm guessing, okay? But coaches, to me, I hold them at high regards because they put in 17, 18-hour days. I mean, they live in the building, even the ones that don't. They got a lot of information that they process. It's a lot of moving parts. And real quick, I'm going to take you all the way back because here's the best way I can give this answer. 2020, you're thinking about this. Okay, you have a Hall of Fame quarterback. The draft is on. Everybody was saying, go get a receiver. And they did, like Brandon Ojuk from San Francisco. They liked him, who's a great player. But somebody in that room had to say, you know what, I want to be good in 4 years from now or 3 years from now. I'm going to get a quarterback. Mm-hmm. And somebody said, I don't think that'll be very popular with the fan base. And somebody goes, well, who do you like? Well, he's not at Alabama. He's not at Ohio State, Michigan. He's at this school. Oh, where's that school located? Don't matter. We got the goods on him. That's our guy. Well, if he's there, let's get him. What's it going to take? Okay, fine. They get it, right? And now LaFleur is hired, and thank you for Murphy for pulling the trigger on that because people didn't think they was going to get a young coach. Well, if they did, they didn't expect it to be LaFleur. Okay, LaFleur comes in. I'm trying to go as fast as possible.
Yeah, you're kind of dragging here.
This is not a filibuster. You got to understand the history of the relationship. He was hand chosen in an environment to where it was against all odds of getting a quarterback. So when you draft a guy, he's my guy. Mm-hmm. You want him to flourish. Okay, so you win 39 games in 3 years. You got Rodgers, you number 1 seed, blah, blah. You win all these games. You break Seifert record. You got no credit for that. Nobody gave LaFleur credit for those wins. They said it was Rodgers. But in the losses, you blame it on LaFleur. Mm-hmm. Fine. So let's go to this year, Tom. This is his guy. This is his offense. I can run what I think is best and not have somebody change it, second guess it, roll their eyes, or just put some smoke on it when it don't need to be. Mm-hmm. The smoke is clear now. So the relationship is this. Even when they were 2-5, the reason I like Jordan Love, same demeanor. He don't get overly upset. He don't get overly excited. It's almost like he's embarrassed that people giving him attention because he wants it to be on the team.
Yeah.
So now LaFleur can set these plays. Jordan, what do you like? I like this. Okay, Tom, what do you like? Stanovich, okay, fine. When you get this, do this, and this, and that's why Tom says stay tuned for X and O's. We'll talk about that. It's a true marriage now. It's not the power trip of the coach and the player thinking even smarter than the coach.
Yeah.
That's why it's a great relationship.
I think the best thing and the worst thing for Jordan Love was one. The best thing was that Aaron Rodgers didn't take part in some of the OTAs and things, and
that's a good
during
point.
the times that Rodgers was the starting quarterback.
Yes.
So during that time, they worked with Jordan Love to run LaFleur's offense.
Yes.
Then the downside of it is in comes Aaron Rodgers, and the offense is different. It's different under Aaron Rodgers. He's putting in the things that he likes. He doesn't like motion.
Nope.
He doesn't like being under center. He's going to change plays.
He wants control.
Yeah, he wanted control. Yeah. And all during that time, Jordan Love is just playing scout team and not really. So that development, you understand why it took time, because he's not Aaron Rodgers, and I don't think they even want him running Aaron Rodgers' system. They wanted him running the system he's running right now.
Facts.
Right?
And the system is, and I explain this to my millennial kids, Gen Z grandkids, all of them, that when you have a system and you give me a play, we got to be on the same page. Yeah. Otherwise, it ain't going to work.
Yeah.
Of course, there was some struggles. Of course. When they were 2-5, you remember against the Saints, I think he had like 50 yards the first half. LaFleur never got upset with him. We're going to keep working through it.
Yeah.
And I like that. I like that.
What I think also is beneficial is they've gradually opened the doors for him. And we're going to see it on that Dontavian Wicks touchdown where the Cowboys bring the house and he sees it before it happens. Yeah. And, directs some guys around. Still gets hit, but throws a rocket into Wicks for the touchdown. So, we're really seeing the true evolution of a quarterback and his coach really on the same page. Now, you hope that continues to go on. All kinds of things can happen, Belichick, Brady, they're always, Favre, Holmgren, they're going to butt heads. But what they have going right now is pretty special, I would say.
And to me, here's the difference with those relationships. Jordan, I have this program called One Yes. You can get a ton of no's. People are going to say no all the time. You just pray to God, somebody give me that one yes. And for him not to go to one of these big schools, Pac-10, big SEC, you need one team to say that one yes. That's all I need. And now you got a coach that there's no anxiety.
Yeah.
Coach, help me. I want to get Coach hard, soft, no matter. Help me, give me the information. And because everybody was blitzing him all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're
after
thinking,
Kansas City, yeah.
And the reason why I like LaFleur, because he said when they played Kansas City last year, it was 13-7. He should have gave him more tools and just as he said, let it rip. But Jordan may have one of the strongest arms we've seen in a long time. But the accuracy wasn't there.
Yeah.
And now the accuracy's there. He'll throw it to the open guy. And I'm not going to judge him real quick on Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, and him.
Mm-hmm.
Put that to the side. I'm going to judge him with his draft class. Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
Okay. Justin Herbert.
Right.
Tua.
Mm-hmm.
Those are 4 guys went in the first round. You could put Jalen Hurts in there too, but he was second round.
Mm-hmm.
Those 2 went to Super Bowls. So he can be just as good or better than those guys because he's with a system that the same thing Brock Purdy did.
Right.
I have a coach who can help me do what I want to do. So I'm not surprised Brock Purdy and Jordan Love are competing because there were two coaches that believe in them and give them some say-so when they need to.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why they're successful.
Okay, I want to talk a lot about the 49er game, but I want to do one last thing regarding the Cowboy game.
Yeah,
and
please.
That was to look at the I want to look at the defense and what you thought they did that was so effective against. I have a clue, but I want to hear what you have to say about what you think they did to shut down that offense until the final 6 minutes of the game or whatever it was.
The thing about that is, again, let's go back to Matt LaFleur. He's getting so much smoke from everybody to fire Barry. I think after the Tampa game, Is it?
Yep.
Every day, fire Barry. He has to make a decision. Do I listen to this or do I understand? I know the man, and I know the system. I'm going to stick with it. Man, as he said, if I thought that would help, he would entertain it. But I'm not doing that. Stay with it. Barry is on fire. Now, Quinn, who's one of the best coordinators in Dallas, going home. Barry going to the next week. That being said, two things I think confused Dallas.
Okay.
They thought that Jair, who was questionable, was going to follow CeeDee Lamb. Nope. We're going to stick to the integrity of our defense, and we're going to let it ride. So they were confused what they were going to see. And they were also, McCarthy was the smartest guy in the room. Dak Prescott should have ran the ball. I mean, McCarthy should have ran the ball 60 times instead of throwing it 60 times. And that's what got, but I get it though. I get it. You see Tommy DeVito, Desmond Ridder, Baker Mayfield. Bryce Young had his all-time highest rated day on the Packers. I get it. But it's different now. It's different because they're getting healthy. And that's why Savage play, we'll talk about that, X and O's, means he's starting to get some of the players back. But I think that was the difference, Tom. You remember we went to San Francisco in 95? Fritz came in and said, you know what, guys? Let's run a little 3-4. Fine. Let's do it. And we were able to win. So it was some new things that they put to Dallas, and Dallas totally confused. Barry out-coached McCarthy. LaFleur out-coached their staff. And that's the reason why this defense played at a high clip. So what's your clue? Or what you think?
I think that, one, they thought that the Packers would be really concerned about Tony Pollard and might play, with the safety up a lot, and they didn't, from what I could tell. I also think they decided, okay, we're going to just play a couple of coverages that we're good at. Like they play the cover 4, they played a lot of that and let their linebackers kind of take away CeeDee Lamb crossing across the middle. And then they played more man than they normally have. They got corners who are pretty athletic. And I think, we can point out a few plays where they played man. And talking to the players after the game, particularly Preston Smith, he was just like, we've just simplified everything, like let the players play, let them do what they do, and don't overcomplicate it. And I think they did throw in some wrinkles. I think they did some things that, like you said, not following with CeeDee Lamb. I think
that totally confused me.
I think Dallas did a lot to move CeeDee Lamb around and probably didn't need to.
Exactly.
Right? So they spent a lot of time probably doing that.
Yes.
I think if they would have focused more on Jake Ferguson, they could have hurt the Packers more. But they were so determined to get it to Lamb, and that's how the Savage thing came about, right?
And I think that's how Jair, my nephew, got the interception. That ain't supposed to be Jair. He's supposed to be following CeeDee Lamb. That was supposed to be 35 or 37 with his speed. But Dak missed that. he should come off of that and go somewhere else. But no, in practice, he said, nope, that's going to be 37 or 35, and that slant's going to be wide open for a touchdown.
Yeah.
But it was intercepted.
The other thing that I think the defense is feeling is, well, Jordan Love's going out there in this offense. Every single guy's making a play on offense.
Yes.
It's like, well, what are we going to do?
Yes.
You know, what do we just
Yes.
chop liver? And I mean, you can speak to this. Do you think that actually plays a part when you see your offense playing so well that you're like, well, we got to get them the ball back somehow? Yeah. Is that legit?
Oh, yeah, that's a great point. And two things. We have a formula. If we score, we got to get a 3 and out. So if Brett would throw it to Brooks for a touchdown, and if the defense goes out there and get a 3 and out, we've gained momentum on them on the road. Because we're basically saying if we get to a 3 and out and we score again, we're up 14.
Right.
A lot of pressure on them. They already got all the pressure. They had 7 Pro Bowlers and all these All-Pros. We don't have any. Shout out to Keith Nixon for being All-Pro. No surprise there. But then it's like, how do you keep the momentum on the road and just really home in on getting ahead, starting fast? I remember Brett threw an interception. He was just so distraught, coming up the field, kicking the dirt. I went up to him and said, no, don't do that. It's my job to get it back. I remember on a rare occasion, very rare, I would give up a touchdown. I'm distraught, like, man. He would come up to me, Roy Lee, don't worry about it. And he would go throw a bomb to Antonio Freeman. So yes, watching them eat 11 minutes off the clock when a defense can see that.
Yeah. And
amazing.
I think the defense came into the season with all these expectations on their shoulders, and they kind of folded over it. They're not a big play defense. They're bend but don't break defense.
Bend, don't break.
And that works when your offense is scoring, but their offense wasn't scoring the first half of the year.
Yes,
and now
true.
all of a sudden it is. So even like third quarter, Dallas opens, with the ball, and they drive. They've scored a touchdown at the end of the first half. They score another touchdown there. All of a sudden, it's a little different game. It's 27-14.
Yeah.
But they hold them to a field goal.
Yes.
And that's huge, because then the next time Jordan Love gets the ball back and bam, he hits, I think that might have been the drive where he hit Dobbs for 39 yards. Or I can't remember. It's also
the long pass to Musgrave was demoralizing.
That was... I draw that on. I think we'll get to it, but that was an amazing play, the way they drew that up. I mean, they were running, so they're running stuff off of stuff they had done before. They're showing a run play, and this time Musgrave releases instead of blocks, and he's like wide open. So.
Well, Musgrave's one of my favorites. So seeing him after what he went through for the last 5 or 6 weeks makes me feel amazing. But my nephew, 33, Aaron Jones, to me, just dominates the Cowboys. I mean, Texas El Paso kid. His mom is platinum. Rest in peace to his dad. And you can just see the players. It's a cut to where Reed went up to him and said, man, it's a pleasure blocking for you. And you also see Bo Melton and Reed. And Watson got one catch. These guys are not kicking over water. They're not throwing down the kicker's net. Why didn't I get it? No, they're happy for Dobbs.
Yeah.
They're happy for Wicks.
Yeah, Reed didn't have a catch. It's
amazing. It's amazing.
I will show you, Aaron Jones doesn't just run the ball. On Wicks' touchdown, we'll show you. Anyway, we got to get to the 49ers because this is such. I don't think people know how good the 49ers are. They have the most talent.
They're not
in the
sleeping
NFL.
on them. No one's sleeping on them.
No, and Matt LaFleur sure isn't, and he knows everything about Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah.
But let's kind of just go over what is so good about the 49ers, what makes it so difficult to defend them?
Well, John Lynch, who's like a brother, know him very well.
Their general manager.
The general manager, Hall of Fame safety. He probably said to himself, "What's missing?" Christian McCaffrey. You know what? It's going to take a lot. We got to go get him, put him. So they go get McCaffrey, make that trade. Him and Aaron Jones in this offense is platinum. In this offense, which they see the same offense. They run the same stuff. Every now and then it's a little bit different. A lot of movement, but their movement guy is Debo. Okay? Our move guy is Reed. Same thing. The difference is their tight end Kittle's playing at a high clip.
Yeah.
At a very high
he's
clip.
good in the run game and the pass game.
Yes.
He can block.
Yes.
And he's very dangerous.
The only difference is they use a fullback and we use Deshaun Gora. But they use the fullback quite a bit. They're throwing the ball. They run these pull runs with them. It's a very sophisticated offense. But you know that offense. Yeah. Joe Barry knows the offense.
Yeah.
But they have great players.
But that's what this game is about, is great players. So Kyle Shanahan's going to come up with stuff, that will kind of cause the Packers some problem. But in the end, it's about who covers Deebo Samuel, who can handle Brandon Ayuk, who's a second receiver. How do you double George Kittle and still stop Deebo Samuel, still stop Ayuk, and then stop Christian McCaffrey?
Yeah. Well, it's the same way you stop the Cowboys, who was throwing up 37 points at home.
Yeah.
And the same thing with CeeDee Lamb, top receiver. Dak led the league in touchdown. So they're used to playing these all-star teams. But I'm going to say this is a profound statement. Matt LaFleur is taking his best team to play the 49ers. And here's what I mean by that. Team. He's not taking a bunch of individuals. No, he's taking his best team. This is the first game that he's ever going to face Kyle Shanahan and say, I'm running my stuff. I'm doing it my way, which is the team way, and we got a better opportunity. Back in the past, it was always what Rodgers wanted to do. He wanted to do this. And it just seemed like it was all about what they just weren't on the same page. Because that team, this team has cost 2 trips to the Super Bowl, I think.
Yeah.
Number 1 seed, divisional. If you beat San Francisco, you're going to the Super Bowl. So this team is a trigger for me. But as far as a team, when they get on that plane, Matt LaFleur should have no anxiety because he's going with a bunch of guys who are going to follow him through a brick wall, not a few of them.
Okay. Well, that's nice and everything, but
that's the truth, man.
I'm telling you, when is the last time they faced a defensive line that had Chase Young on one side, a Nick Bosa on the other, Javon Hargrave, Eric Armstead, and then Fred Warner and Dre Greenlaw at linebacker. Yeah, this is the best defense they will face all year.
Those are brands. We may be generic. We do the same thing. Just win. Dallas had an all-star team. They watch it.
Not like that.
Well,
they don't have the same talent. Not even close. They got one guy who's
I agree with you. That's fine. But when you get between those lines, that don't matter. Because it's a bunch of individuals. We got a team.
And
that's how you upset teams.
Yeah, they're going to have to play well in every single phase. They're going to play it together. Can't miss extra points.
You can't miss extra points.
Continue playing really good on special teams.
Play a perfect game.
They can't miss tackles.
Yes.
They have to cover the tight end.
Christian McCaffrey, he's going to get some votes for MVP. Brock Purdy may be MVP.
Yeah.
They got everything.
Yeah, and Jordan Love will just have to stay hot. And, but I just think people think that it's the same as playing the Cowboys. You know this. Every time you go to the next round in the playoffs, you're facing a better team.
Yeah. At their place.
Yeah, at their place, usually.
Yes.
Yeah.
But if I go into in any event and we got the same equipment, nobody knows my players. None. If you take away the internet, you know all their guys. It's going to be that much satisfying. I don't have to sell it to my team anymore that they can play with anybody. Mm-hmm. They just show themselves. They don't know what they don't know. A lot of these young guys, they played in bowl games and they're home. Mm-hmm. They're not used to doing this. They're not used to getting interview requests. Mm-hmm. No, they weren't even here. So Jordan Love's seen all those losses when he was on the bench. But he's probably thinking to himself, oh, I did something different right there. Yeah. Just like they haven't seen nothing like those guys you named, they ain't seen nothing like number 10. Nope. With the arm strength and the footwork and this offensive line, they ain't going to just let no free shots go in there.
No. I mean, the 49ers faced Lamar Jackson, and that's probably going to be the closest that they face to.
And on that 3-game losing streak, they averaged 17 points, and they lost. Mm-hmm. The Packers got to keep them in the teens.
Right.
Keep them in the teens.
Yep.
You got a good chance.
Right.
I don't want to give away my prediction, but I'm just saying, once you get in the playoff time, anything can happen.
Anything can happen.
Because you didn't think these 8 teams out there now on both sides would be the teams, Tampa, Detroit, and the Packers.
Yeah. This is like after you beat the 49ers in 95 and then you went and played the Cowboys. And
that's a good one.
It was
that's
the best you had played the Cowboys to that point, and it still wasn't enough. But
we had them in the fourth quarter.
You did. You had them, and then they kind of just flexed their muscles with Emmitt Smith and the offensive line.
Yeah.
And
gave them some
so you need, you need to play that way and then find a way to finish. And I think that's what we'll be looking for on Sunday, see if they can do it.
When we score, get a 3 and out, get ahead, and make Brock Purdy play one of the best games of his life.
Yeah.
Because he also have a 4-interception game on his resume not a few weeks ago.
Right.
So that's kind of up to us. But I like the fact that this team is, to me, the gold standard is Kyle Shanahan. I mean, he was a little kid. His dad, I think, is a Hall of Famer. And John Lynch, I said that before, and we know the brothers, the cousins, we know this team. And they know us.
Okay.
But the difference is we bring a team this time.
Right.
Not just 1 or 2 players.
All right. Let's go with your...
The prediction is going to be, we got to score 30 points. That's just a fact. Score 30 points, we got to hold them to 17. 30-17, the Packers will win. And I don't care what the NFC Championship game is. You don't want to play a team this hot. Because they're on fire. You know what? Think about it real quick, too, Tom. You know how people say the underdog, you play that. In that locker room, there's no one's an underdog. They're just shocked that other people haven't seen the growth and camaraderie that they have, and they're okay with it. Mm-hmm. They're okay with it, and I like that. So they don't have any pressure. The pressure's on San Francisco, because every time they watch that film, how they look when they were 2-5, don't look nothing like when Jordan Love 21 touchdowns and 1 pick. So don't turn the ball over.
Yeah, and I think you got to come out fast because, 49ers they'll probably have a really good first series design with some looks that you hadn't seen before. Mm-hmm. But if you can jump on them right away, they're probably a little rusty from having a week off. Mm-hmm. The Packers can't stumble early is my thought. If they don't stumble early, then they got a chance.
Yeah, because Brock Purdy hadn't played a game in almost 21 days.
Yeah.
But, again, 30-17, I'm excited because you get to play another week. You're playing on a Saturday.
Yeah.
And LaFleur has a fantastic game plan. Showed it to me, matter of fact, before I got here. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. All right, who do you want to thank?
Pick and Save, of course. And actually, I'm developing my new cooking show. And stay tuned for that. But Pick and Save, you can go to Pick and Save / LeRoy Butler to get some of my recipes And again, anywhere you download podcasts, please download the Leap 36 podcast. Me and former Packer Gary Ellison, we take a deep dive into some of the stuff we do now. And again, if you're ever in the area, Milwaukee on the south side, please look up Torzala Brewery. They have some of the best signature beers and things of that nature. So, and please stay tuned for X and O's. It'll be one of the most entertaining ones and educational ones we've ever done. Even Tom looks smart on this one.
Yeah, and that's hard to do. All right. We'll see you next week. Thanks, everyone.
Go Pack.